Welcome to today's video. I'm starting this out looking a little crazy, but it is necessary because today I'm going to be playing with pastels. I have the Glaminatrix Pretty and Pastels palette, and today I'm going to be finding out if this was worth the long shipping time because customs held this up forever. But if you guys are interested in seeing two looks and swatches, then just keep watching. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Heather. I love all things makeup, especially colorful makeup and indie brands. And if you guys love those things too, I really hope you will subscribe, click the little bell so you can be notified of all my future uploads. But let's get into the video. So I forgot to mention in the intro that I also picked up one of the blushes from this collection. It's actually a cheek and lip flush, so I'm going to try it today on the lips and the cheeks. But first, let's get into a little information about the palette and everything that I picked up. The palette retails for $44. I used the code and got it. I think I got like 10% off. But the palette description says muted soft hues meets bold, delicate pastel shades mixed with deep and sultry tones to elevate your look. There are 8 shimmers, 12 mattes, which to me is a perfect ratio. And something else that I really love about this palette is it goes from really light to really dark. There's a deep shade for any kind of combo you could possibly come up with. For me, this is a pastel palette that was perfectly curated. I love this color story so much, and I'm so excited to dig in. But this is my first time trying the brand, so let's hope that I really love the formulas in here. But I've heard good things about the brand, so I'm really excited that I finally get to try them out. And as for the blush, I wanted to start with just one shade, so I picked up the shade Lavish. This is more of like that burnt orange color, kind of brown. It's really, really pretty. This retails for $17, and as I mentioned, it is supposed to be able to be used for the lips and the cheeks, but this is really pretty. It's a color that I don't have in my collection. They do have an orange, like a straight up orange, but I'm trying to not allow myself to pick up the same shade in every freaking blush formula because I have so many orange blushes. Because orange is my favorite. If you guys haven't been here, you wouldn't know that, but I love orange blush a whole lot. But I'm trying to branch out and try new things. So first, let's go ahead and apply this to the lips. Right now, I'm wearing a lip liner. It is from LUNAR Beauty and in the shade Milk Tea. I love this one very much. It's very teensy tiny because I use it a whole lot. But let's use this on the lips. I'm just going to apply it to my finger and then just tap it on. I mean, it feels nice as of this very second, but let me get you guys zoomed in and then we will try it as a blush. I will say it looks pretty on the lips, but I accidentally got it in my mouth and it tastes like corn oil. So I probably will not be using it on the lips, but it does look pretty. We'll see like how it looks after it dries down a little more, but just wanted to throw that out there. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this and put it on the back of my hand. I don't typically ever use the applicator to put it on my face because you never know how pigmented they are. Rare Beauty's burnt me before. But I'm just going to go in with my Cinch Beauty F03 and we're going to try this on the cheeks. I really love this shade. I think the color is really pretty. Blends really well. I have set my face and it's going pretty good over this powder as well. Let's see if we can build it up just a little. I mean, honestly, I really don't need to, but I'll probably have to go back over it and tone it down. But if you do have a deeper skin tone, you might be curious if they are buildable. And that would be a yes. I'm going to go do the other cheek off camera real quick, and then I will be right back to start look number one. The application of this is really, really nice. I really like the blush so far. I'll let you guys know when I film lip number two tomorrow how it wore, but it just applied beautifully. And you know, if this would have been a Rare Beauty blush, as dark as this shade is, I would have been screwed because I love the Rare Beauty blushes, but they are super pigmented. You have to be really careful with them. And this formula feels like it has the perfect amount of pigmentation where it's not too much, but it's just enough. And it blended very, very nicely as well. So the base I'm wearing for eyeshadow is from the Glamlite Kiss collection. And I'm excited to try it out with some pastels. But let's get into the eyeshadow look. So for look number one, I want to do something really simple. I'm going to just do the yellow row. And I went back and forth on that, but I really love this shade so much. It reminds me of one of my favorite shades in an Oden's Eye palette. It reminds me of this shade in the Soulmane 2 palette. It's also in the Mighty Monster palette from Oden's Eye, but I really love that shade and swatched out. They look really similar, but I'm excited to play with some yellows. Plus, it's a good way to try out this base. I'm still trying to figure out what I think of it, so let's go ahead and get into the look. This look's going to be really easy to recreate if you guys want to, but I'm going in with my Singe Beauty E06, and we're going in with that shade Imaginary. And I'm just going to focus this here in the crease. I love pastels so much, but with most pastel palettes, my issue with them is there's not enough depth. I mean, it's a pastel, but pastel palettes usually don't have these deeper shades. So when I saw this palette, there was no way I was passing it up. I hated that I had to wait so long for it. I think I ordered it like on the 3rd of March. And I got it in yesterday on the 22nd. So it did take a while to get to me, but not all of that was their fault. Customs really held it up. And I'm glad that I didn't know it was coming from Australia because I might not have bought it had I known that. But I've been wanting to try this brand out for a long time, so I'm really happy that I finally get the chance to. But I'm just pressing this all along the crease. Now I'm going in with my Singe Beauty E03, and I'm just going to pick up a little more of that shade and just use this brush to blend it all out. Tomorrow's look I might do with a different white base. I probably shouldn't have used the new base with the new eyeshadow formula. I didn't really think it through. So, story time. I have a video that I filmed, and it was my spring and summer palette video, and I got it completely edited and then got all of my like links and stuff done for it. And yesterday I went to upload it on YouTube, and I noticed that I accidentally deleted it off my phone, and let me tell you, I wanted to freaking cry. Oh, that's the one thing that really sucks about having to film these videos on my phone is I don't have a lot of storage, so I have to delete things a lot. And I just can't believe that I deleted that video without uploading it. Really sucks. So after I get done with this, I'm going to be filming that again. Boring story, but it's one that highly annoys me. But now let's go into the shade Visionary. And I'm just using a BH Cosmetics shading brush. And I'm just going to pack this in the inner corner. I will say this palette swatched so freaking good. And so far, I really am liking how easy these blend. But the true test will be the deeper shades for sure. But these are layering very nicely on this base. The only thing I don't like about the bases is they are a little sticky. They don't dry down completely. So it does make it hard to blend on them. But once you do, like, the pigmentation is incredible. But like, you could probably even hear like my brush sticking to this. So it does kind of make it hard to blend. But I don't know if they created them to be used as in like a matte base or just a shimmer base. Now I want to go back in with that E03 and pick up more Visionary, and I'm just going to use this to blend out the shade Imaginary. I love a yellow matte. Now I'm going to go back in with that E06, pick up more of the Imaginary shade, and just deepen on this crease up. Using my Singe Beauty E04, I'm going to go into the shade Luminous down here, and I'm going to press this into this outer V. That is really pigmented. I really love the color of that, and I feel like it goes really well with the blush, which is really what made me want to use this brow today. Now I'm going to go back in with the E06 and just going to blend this out. I'm going to pick up more of the shade Imaginary and use it to help blend. I want to make this blend go up a little higher because it's kind of being hidden by my hood. So I'm going to mix these two and then just raise this a little. But I've just switched over to this GLAMLITE Friday the 13th brush. Makes it a little easier to do it a little faster. I've just cleaned off my E03 on my Sigma switch, and I want to go back into Imaginary, and I'm just going to blend this out. See, I love that I can play with these pretty pastels and still not lose the depth. That makes me super happy. And I love these shades together. I think it's so pretty. Now I'm going to go back in with this pastel yellow again and just go over the edge. I don't want to lose that. Now I'm going to use my Singe Beauty E04 and pick up more of that shade Luminous. I just want to re-intensify this outer part of the V. Basically, gonna just do the same thing on the lower lash line, but I'm gonna start with the deeper shade, Luminous, and I'm just gonna put that as close to the waterline as I can. Now I'm gonna use my E04, and I'm gonna pick up Imaginary and use this shade to blend that out. Now I'm going to pick up a little bit of Visionary, and I'm going to just put this on the inner corner of the lower lash line, and then I'll also just use it to blend out the edges to lighten it up some. I really love the mattes, but I'm just as excited to play with the shimmers, and for that I'm going to be using my Unearthly Glimmer in my BH Cosmetics packing brush, and I'm just going to put this all over the lid. I really love both shimmers, but I really don't know which one I want to use. I think I'm going to do Idealist on most of the lid, and then I'll add some of the Magical shade into the inner part. This is so pretty. The shimmers looked so beautiful when I swatched them out. I'm really happy to finally be getting them on the eye, but this shade is stunning. I love orange eyeshadow, you guys know. I love orange everything. Now let's do a little bit of magical. I'm going to put that right here. I'm going to pick up a BH Cosmetics pencil brush, and I'm just going to put some of this on in the inner corner. I also want to put a little down here as well. Now I'm going to take my Cinch Beauty E04, and I'm going to go back into the shade Luminous, and I just want to use this to blend into the shimmers so the mattes and shimmers don't just like stop abruptly. Here is the finished eye. I'm going to go do the other one off camera, do lashes and liner and all of the things, and I will be right back to show you guys the finished look. And here is look one complete. I love it. Love the color combination. So far, I find the matte formula really easy to work with. I really like the shimmers as well. In my waterline, I am wearing the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Prance, and it goes perfectly with this look. I will have it and everything else I use in this video linked down below in my description box if you guys are interested. But so far, I'm enjoying the palette. I really like the blush. I can also say that taste on the lips, it went away like relatively quick. So maybe I will use it again as a lip product because I do think the color is really beautiful and I'm loving this formula. But I will let you guys know in look two how well it wore and like the longevity and everything. But those are my thoughts so far, and let's get started with look number two. I'm back for look number two. I'm really excited to get into this palette again. I'm wearing the blush again today, and I will say that it wore really well yesterday. It didn't fade or anything like that. It seems to be a really great blush, and I had the same experience with it today when I put it on. So I'm really enjoying it so far, but I will keep you guys updated, especially if my thoughts on it change. But so far, so good. I really do like it. So for this look, I want to start out with this pink shade called Mystified. I'm just using my BH Cosmetics shading brush, and I just want to put this here in the inner corner. For my eyeshadow base, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Pigment Mixing Drops. It's for like foundation, but works good as an eyeshadow base too. I'm basically going to concentrate this pink in the inner corner and on the inner corner of the lower lash line as well. Now I'm going to go in with that same brush. I just cleaned it off on my Sigma Switch, and I want to pick up the shade Fanciful, and I'm just going to press this right here, right beside the pink. I don't want to take it too far in because I do want to use the blues as well, but this will kind of help them blend together. I'll worry about blending out after I get everything kind of mapped out. Now I'm going to go in with my E06 and I'm going to pick up the blue shade here called Divine, and I'm just going to press this into this end half of the crease. These pastels are showing up really well on this base as well, so that makes me really happy. This one's a lot easier to blend on than the one from GLAMLITE. You can see I've already blended that out. I'm going to deepen it up just a tad bit though. Now I'm going to go back in with that BH Cosmetics shading brush and go back into the shade Fanciful. And I'm going to make sure these two shades blend in together. Then I just cleaned off my brush, and now I'm going to go back into Mystify and make sure these two are blended. Now, you know I want to deepen this look up, but if you didn't want to, you could use like one of these two on the lid. That would be really pretty. This one would be as well, but I do want to deepen it up. So I'm going to use my Singe Beauty E06 and go into the shade Infatuation. And I'm just going to press this into the crease. This shade is really pretty. It's pigmented. I'm glad that they provided like a mid-tone matte blue, because you can't overblend a blue or it will like kind of muddy up. So it makes it a lot easier to work with them. Look how bright and vibrant that is. That's really pretty. Now I'm going to use my E03. I had a brain fart, but I'm going into the shade Divine. And I'm going to just blend this out. And then I'm going to go back into Infatuation and just re-intensify. Now going in with my GLAMLITE brush. This is from the Friday the 13th collection. I want to go, maybe I want to use a smaller brush. Actually, I'm going to use my E04 and go into the shade Peaceful. I might go back to that GLAMLITE brush, but I just want to see like how pigmented this blue is first. I really love this. Now I'm going to go in with this GLAMLITE brush, and I'm just going to blend this out. Pick up a little bit of Infatuation to help me along the way. Now I'm going to go back into a little of Peaceful and just tap this on. I really love like how freaking bright and vibrant this color is. I think it's so pretty. I want to add a little bit of Tranquil. I'm using that E04 again, but I'm just going to place this here in the very outer corner. Don't want it to overtake the look. And then I'm going to go back in with my E06 and just blend. As you can see, that was really easy to do. That makes me super happy. Now I'm going to use that BH Cosmetics brush again and pick up more of the pastel purple fanciful shade and just make sure these are like really blended well. Now for the lower lash line, I'm going to use my E07 from Singe Beauty, and I want to pick up the shade Peaceful, and I'm just going to press this up against the lower lash line. The shade is so pigmented and beautiful and vibrant. I've just cleaned off this Singe Beauty E04, and I'm going to just slightly blend this out. I think I'm going to try to blend this out with the shade Mystify. I don't know if I'll be able to because they're like so different in depth, but I might. Yep. Man, these blend so nice. This is a very nice matte formula. Now I want to use a little bit of Fanciful. I almost said Peaceful. I'm going to use it out here on this outer corner to kind of tie in a little more of that purple shade. Let me go deepen up closer to the waterline again. What shade? Oh, use Peaceful. Now I want to pick up a little of Tranquil, and I'm going to just use this out here. Love the depth that that shade added. Now I'm just using the E04 to blend it out. But I really like the matte so far. This is really great. So far, I've used every matte in this palette except for the green row, which I really do want to use because I really love those shades too. But where I just did two looks with that Nomad palette, I tried to stay away from them. Now I'm going in with some Unearthly Cosmetics Glimmer Grasp, and I'm just using my BH Cosmetics packing brush, and I'm just going to apply this to the lid. For shimmers, I think I want to use, man, I really want to use that blue. That's so pretty, but I want to do something a little more unexpected in a way. So I'm going to go into the shade here called Ambient, and I'm going to just put this here closer to the side with the mattes, and I might use that deeper blue to help blend these, merge these two together. Now I'm going to pick up a little of this shade Daydream. I'm just going to do it on my finger and use this on the edge. Yeah, that worked perfectly. Now I want to go into the shade called Surreal, and I'm just going to place this here on the inner portion. That's such a really pretty, like, inner corner shade, and front half of this lid. Ooh, I love that. I'm going to use a ColourPop pencil brush and just kind of blend that shimmer shade out a little. And I also want to pick some of that up and put it down here. But I'm going to go do the other eye of camera, do some liner and all of the things. And I will be right back to show you guys finished look and give you my first impressions on this palette. And here is the finished look. I'm really happy with it. I think it's really pretty. I'm so happy I got to play with some blue eyeshadow today. But in my waterline, I am wearing the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Big Splash. And I love, like, the contrast. I feel like it added to the outer corner and made it look even deeper. I really love, like, the pastel ColourPop liners. They're my absolute favorites. But as for the palette, I have used 14 of the 20 shades. And I will say I really, really like this matte formula a lot. I feel like it's very easy to work with. I really enjoy the pastels too, but keep in mind I do have a very fair skin tone and I use the white base. If you have a deeper skin tone than me, then I just suggest you guys do it on a white base too, because it really helps those pastel colors show up better. But I really did enjoy the mattes, and I really love the deep shades as well. I think they layered really nice. They were really pigmented, very easy to blend. This is a very, very easy to blend matte formula. The thing that doesn't wow me is the shimmers. They are beautiful and I do like them, but are they worth the long shipping wait, the shipping cost to get this from Australia to the United States? That I don't know. Like I said, I do think they're really beautiful, but they are not like the best shimmers in my collection. I prefer like the shimmers from Bella Beauty Bar, Unearthly Cosmetics, GLAMLITE even. They're just more like reflective and just really beautiful. These ones are beautiful too, but I feel like they're just missing that sparkle. And I also feel like from this distance away from my camera, this kind of almost looks like an all matte look. I just want a little more like sparkle in my shimmers. And like I said, while I do really like these ones, they're just not the best. And I feel like if you're going to pay that much for shipping and then have to wait, it just might not be worth it. And for me to go through the shipping cost and the wait time, for me to pick up another palette from this brand, it will have to be a color story that really just knocks my socks off. Or maybe if they update their shimmer formula, and then I will be like head over heels with the brand. But for now, I'm sold on the mattes. I'm like 50% sold on the shimmers, but this is just a first impression. Maybe I will feel different about it later. Maybe it's the shimmers being laid down on the white base. I can also try a different glitter glue, my one from NYX. That might play into it as well, or try them without glitter glue. I felt like the shimmers were more reflective and on the arm swatches than they were on the eye. So I'm just going to try out different ways of using it. But for me, I don't think you would be disappointed in the palette or the brand, but I don't think it's the best palette in my collection. I don't regret buying it. I'm really glad that I got to pick it up and create these two looks. I do think they are really beautiful. But for me, out of this video, the standout product is definitely the blush. Like, that blush is so beautiful, and I really hope that I can pick up more shades in the future. But then again, I'd have to like buy something else to, excuse the shipping costs to get it all the way to the United States. So, I mean, if you guys like a smoother like shimmer formula, maybe one that's not as full of like those little glitter reflex or doesn't show a lot of texture, you may really like this shimmer formula. But for me, it's okay. It's not the best. But I hope this helps. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you watched this video all the way to the end, I thank you so much. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. It really does help me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I really hope you will. And let me know down below if you guys have tried anything from Glaminatrix, or if you picked up this palette and you tried it. I would love to hear your thoughts on it, especially with the shimmers. I'd love to know how you guys feel about them. But thank you so much for everything. And until next time, bye.